So what if I told you that there is a secret, but not so secret, technique that ACRAZE uses in literally every single one of his tracks? And no, this is not clickbait. Let me show you what I mean. So I recently saw ACRAZE live, and after listening to all the insane tracks he was playing that night, something just clicked. Let's take a listen to these tracks. So the one thing that all these tracks have in common is that they're using a technique literally as old as Mozart and Beethoven. The thing is that both ACRAZE, like Mozart and Beethoven, like to use a technique known as a motif. So a musical motif is a short recurring idea that pretty much serves as the building blocks of a song. Now, it's usually a rhythm or a melody or a combination of the two, and it must meet these three criteria. So 1, it must be short and memorable. 2, it must be repetitive but with some slight variation. And 3, it needs to have a distinct theme. So listening to Beethoven's For Elise, you can see what our clear idea is. And even if you don't know the entire composition, you pretty much know what song this is. Same thing goes for Beethoven's Symphony No. 5. And Mozart did this too. You can hear the clear motif here in Symphony No. 40 with some slight variation. And then we're back to that main theme. Okay, so back to ACRAZE, because we're not making classical EDM unless you're Oliver Heldens. So anyways, this track in this video has a clear motif with this synth right here. But what I found is what we can easily run into with motifs and the overuse of motifs is running into repetitiveness. And what I've heard ACRAZE do to combat that is that he likes to use the call and response technique. Now, here's the thing with the call and response technique. You have to use more than just 2 elements, because if not, then those 2 elements are going to start to get pretty repetitive themselves. So, for example, in the first part of this drop, the call and response is between these 2 synths. But on the second half of this drop, the call and response is between that main synth and then with Travis Scott's vocals. Okay, so now the distinct thing that I've heard from ACRAZE is that he tends to focus a lot on rhythms over crazy complex sound design and being over the top. Now, that's not to say that his sound design isn't good, but it's more to say that he tends to focus on rhythms throughout various different elements of a track. Now, you can implement this focus on rhythm in different parts of your song, like with your synths. You can do this with your kick and your bass. And you can even do it with your effects, kind of like this. So before we play the whole thing, if you learned something from this video, leave a like. If you want to see more things like this, subscribe, the algorithm things. But enough of that, let's get into some tech house and show you what this track sounds like. She said she want more, fuck it, I'ma get more, 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 I'ma get more,